This is Photoshop. We're on Chapter 8, which is Web Page Design. We've discussed whether or not to create a web page in Illustrator or Photoshop when we were working in Illustrator. It is, however, very common to lay out what the web page should look like and then give that to a web developer who would then create functioning HTML out of this. And that's what we're going to be working on today. Make sure that you read through on page 433 about the Actions panel, because there's a lot of information in there that we aren't going to actually be able to cover in this demo. The Actions panel allows us to automate repetitive tasks. It is a time saver and something that you need to know how to use. We're going to start by creating an action set. If your action panel is not already open, go to Window and open Actions. We have quite a number of pre-made actions in here already, and to make life easier for us, we're going to go in to the options and clear all actions. Delete all actions, you can say OK. Now that doesn't permanently delete them. You can always go back into actions and you can reset the actions, which will reload them. But we're going to create some new action sets. We're then going to click to create a new set button, so that's the one that looks like a folder. And we're going to name the new set Portfolio Actions. To begin, we're going to open the Culture1 JPEG from the Silk Costumes folder. Select to use the embedded profile and say OK. In your Actions panel, you're going to click the plus button, which is going to create a new action, and we're going to name this Optimize for Slides. It's going to be in the Portfolio Actions set, and we can click Record. Now go into Image and select Image Size, making sure that you are set for pixels. We are going to change the height to 1000. Make sure that the resolution stays at 72, so you are using resample, and you can choose automatic for the interpolation, and then select OK. In the Actions panel, you're going to stop recording. Then you can look at the image size item and see that our settings are there. Scale styles, height 1000 pixels with constrained proportions, interpolation is automatic. We need to select the portfolio actions and then go into the Options panel and save the actions. You'll see that it's going to be saved as an actions file in our presets. If you cannot save into that application's default location, save it into your WIP folder. So if you're working from home on the school computers, you can just navigate like we did, I think that was in Illustrator, where we had to save that file into the WIP folder. I don't know how it's going to work through Splashtop. Then close the Culture1 file, but don't save it, because we're going to redo this with a batch process. We're going into File, Next, and select Automate, Batch. We're going to take all of those images that are in the Costumes folder. Now that's a lot to do singly. There's quite a few. They look like they might be different sizes. We need to have them all the same height because they're going to be shown on a slideshow. So to get that easier, we're going to have to automate the batch. In the batch dialog box, and please make sure you read page 438 about inserting action stops and menu options. We're going to choose as a source a folder. We're going to choose the WIP file, so this will take just a second to get through into there. And we're selecting the costumes folder. We want to check the suppress color profile warning because remember we got that warning when we opened the Culture 1 file. And then in the destination box we're going to choose folder, select choose. Again we're going into the silk folder, but this time we're selecting the slides folder. If you look right now, that's going to be an empty folder. In the file naming area, we're going to leave document name if that's what it came up with. If not, go ahead and select document name. You can do that with the lowercase. In the second field, rather than extension, we're going to type in a hyphen slide. That's going to add the hyphen and the word slide to the name of the file. In the third field, go into the drop down and select extension, lowercase, and then you can click OK to run the batch. Rather than you opening each one of those files, going through the resize, and closing that file again, we just had Photoshop do it for us. So now if I bring up my folder and I look in the slides, there's all the resized slides waiting for us.